All right, we're officially live. What's up, kids? Gonna kind of catch some of you guys as you're filing in, potentially. 4 viewers. Whatever will we do with all of our viewers? How's everybody doing this morning? Doing well is the answer, just in case you were wondering. You should be doing well. If you're not, we're going to see what we can do about that. Post this to Facebook. Okay, got that done. What's up, Brett? How you doing? How you doing? No, Jeremy, it's not early. I actually prefer to do these in the morning, just because I work nights and I can get off and get in the mornings. There's nobody in the house. There's not a lot of noise, so I can be here and be focused and not have to mess with a lot of that stuff. Like the kids coming in or out, or my wife, doing wife things. So it actually works out. That, and I figure it kind of be a decent way for some people to start the day. They can kind of turn this on and listen to it in the background while they work, or maybe if they're driving to work, they can listen to it that way. I don't know. I just kind of like doing these in the morning better. If I had like a co-host or something, I could definitely make it work better at night, but it's just your boy flying solo, so that's what we're going to do for now. And don't worry, this camera looks like crap. I understand it does. We'll go back to the good old thumbnail once we get things started here, but until we get the podcast rolling, I just want to kind of hang out and let you guys file in. Squish say where to get that hat. Man, you know where I get that hat? Yeah, it would be good for a drive tomorrow. What time do you guys play, Jeremy? Everybody's going to Winter Worlds down in Texas. Unfortunately, I'm not attending. Who all's going down there? Is anybody going down there? Six p.m. There's a lot of people playing late. I don't understand that. Yeah, I will be the announcer for it as long as the live stream goes okay. That's for sure. Sorry, I'm kind of dealing with more than one thing at a time here as well. I made the decision to try and sell some bats this morning. Not a good idea. I hate selling bats so much. What we're gonna get this started with actually is selling bats and my rants on everything that goes along with it. What's up, Jared? How you doing, man? Yeah, I wanted to go down there. I really did, but I don't know. Just COVID's got everything in my household in a weird place, and I don't want to be sick. Do not at all want to be sick, and I've lost a lot of hope for humanity after seeing and hearing some of the things people have done after a positive COVID test. So with that in mind, I'm just kind of ducking out. I'm going to kind of lay low for a little bit. Maybe once flu season kind of passes, just one less thing to compromise the immune system. You guys can call me, a wussy, scaredy cat. Coronavirus isn't real. Man, I don't care. I've made up my mind what I'm going to do with this pandemic, and nothing's going to change it. So I'll be back out in the spring, just trying to avoid exposure anywhere where possible, and a flight to Texas just seemed like I might be asking for it a little bit. Favorite bat? Man, loaded question. Really it is. Definitely got to be like the 16 Freak 30, the 17 Freak 30. I really like the 18 Travis Clark. Oh man, that was a good one. The 19 Lloyd, a lot of fun. And everybody out there sleep on Louisville, and that's fine. Let them sleep on Louisville. Don't matter to me. All right, bye, Brett. Oh, Brett, don't even bring up the axe bat, man. Do we got to go there right now? Do we got to go there? That thing did surprise me, I will say. As you guys haven't seen the review, I did a review on the Baden axe, whatever you want to call that thing. I guess it's not technically Baden. I was corrected on that. So after I made that review, one of the guys that actually works for Baden reached out to me just to kind of fill in the blanks where I had any questions or anything like that, and honestly just kind of talk about his product a little bit. And I'm 100% here for that. I'm not saying every bat company should like call me or reach out to me or in any capacity, but it is just kind of nice to be able to talk with someone behind the scenes if you got any questions or anything like that. And just nice to know that the companies are watching your content. Yeah, Brett, you can post your oof pic, but it ain't going nowhere. So somebody's saying that it lagged out. Is everything going okay? Is it choppy or anything like that? It shouldn't be. I mean, this freaking internet we got here at the new house is straight ripping. So it might be something on your end, buddy. I'm not sure. The 2-ounce in load Travis Clark. I've swung it. I'm not gonna go in real hard on like particular brands or anything, but at least it was unique in the fact that it was different having a 2-ounce in load. It wasn't just the same old Easton. But in my opinion, Easton's gotten kind of out of hand with, releasing 30 bats a year, maybe more. God, I quit counting. I quit trying to keep up. The mainline stuff is really all I'm worried about when it comes to them, just because everything else is, I hate to use the term repaint, but it's just about what it is anymore. It's just, the assembly line of bats is rolling through, and homeboy, he's painting his bats as they go by, and he puts one paint gun down and picks up another and just keeps painting, and and that's what the next bat is. Like, I don't know that for a fact. Obviously, like I said earlier with the whole axe thing, like they reach out, they tell me things. It's cool to know that science a little bit. But as far as I'm concerned, there's so many Eastons with all the same specs. There's no way there's anything different about any of them besides something that may be unique, like the Travis Clark, where it's got the 2-ounce inload. I did swing it. The inload is insane. So if you don't like inload, don't even bother. I'll tell you that right now. 18 Travis Clark is better, of course. Jared Haskins, yes, top 5 will be soon. I'd plan on getting that done one day this week, and had a couple things come up, but it is in progress. I am editing on it, but it's not 100% done yet. We got 24 viewers. Been live. How long have we been live? 4 minutes. I think that's right. 8 minutes. Oh, man, look at that. Okay, so I did go live a little bit early. I'm going to wait till like 9:10. And then I'll kind of like start getting into the podcast. For the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and kind of hang out and chat with you guys a little bit. Dealing with another thing with the phone here. Let's see. I see you, Robert N6. I'll get you here in a minute. He knows I got my phone in my hand. I think the 18 Travis Clark is better. Like I said, it's performance-wise probably hard to tell a difference, but I just felt like the bat itself, I had a better feel and feedback, and the weighting on it was manageable. And man, that something about that thing just grooves for me. Stand by. One thing I can't stand when it comes to selling bats is lack of communication. And I didn't really think this through when I posted these bats for sale this morning, that I would be doing this podcast and going dark for an hour. But we're going to get through it. I do review Anarchy bats. I can't tell you the exact number. I did 4 or 5 of them this year. Won't lie to you, I kind of feel like Anarchy is kind of tiptoeing the line of what Easton is. Coincidentally enough, they're part of Smash It Sports as well. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, Easton and Anarchy, no matter what the feelings are and what's actually going on behind the scenes with stuff that's so repaints or whatever else. The fact of the matter is, this stuff performs. You can't stand there and deny that it doesn't. So there is that going for any of that product. Gamer currently, pure integrity. That BP Hero Edition, baby. What's my opinion on the Mach 1 XXL craze? I'm basically just the same pattern as the Primo 12 EST. Yeah. I don't know. Facebook and social media, and I understand I'm a social media influencer, carry a lot of hype with some of that stuff, and I think that's where some of it comes from. I haven't swung one personally, but I can tell you that it's going to pass the same standards as all the other stuff. So unless you just specifically need that weighting and that bat and that brand, then I guess grab one. If you get a good price on one, no matter what, buy it, but don't overpay. If you need a short barrel with a great big inload, look at another brand and find one with a full ounce inload. There's no need to overpay to get something like that. How does this mic sound as well, by the way? So I've got this dude right here that I usually use for my podcast mic, and I broke the arm that I usually mount it to my desk with, and I didn't want to stand there and hold it and have to hear all the hand noises of me handling the microphone the whole time. So I got a new one on the way already. So we got that coming, but I had to use this for now. Not crazy about like gaming headsets or microphones for stuff like this, but it's going to get us through today. Leaf Nemo is over at Anarchy now. Yeah, he is. Leaf did his ASP thing there for a while, did a pretty good job with it. Then jumped in with Smash It in the gang, and he's killing it over there now. That'd be one dude. So I'm friends with a friend that's friends with him. My guy Ross is pretty good friends with Leaf. Leaf's a pretty entertaining dude, man. I'd like to have him on the podcast sometime. I think it'd be a pretty good time. The dude has always got something funny to say about something, it seems like. All fat guy BP in the house. What's up, man? May have to get you on the podcast one of these days. So, let's see. Keeping an eye on my phone, of course. Yes, sir. Selling bats, boys. We're selling bats. We're selling bats. Getting that money so we can get some more content. I'm going to tell you one thing I do got. Some evil softballs. I actually meant to post a picture. I got some fresh Classic M's in the mail the other day. And I'm going to be using them for BP this year. We're going to have... I'm still going to use the Classic M, even though U-Trip has transitioned to the Pro M. I'm still going to use the Classic M's as well. Evil sent me a fresh couple dozen of them things. Love hitting those things. So I'll be excited to check that out. Keep an eye on the... Instagram. I'm trying to get a little more active on Instagram. Keep an eye on there and Facebook for that post. And talk about it cut up a little bit. I love me some evil softballs. The perfect ball. Words. The perfect ball for like this time of year, in my opinion, is like the Evil BP 52 Plus, where it's cold outside. You're not gonna worry about breaking a whole lot of bats hitting that thing. You can. I would confidently put thousands of swings on. Something that's not an LC bat. And maybe even then you could kind of flirt with that. I don't know a ton about LC specific bats, but I can tell you that this is clipping just a little bit. I can tell you that as far as like U-trip stuff goes, or stuff that's designed with no inner barrel technology, thousands and thousands and thousands of swings with an Evil BP 52 Plus, where you even have to think twice about it. If you want to mess with hitting something hard and not just absolutely destroying your bats, you could hit some BP rockets, but I'd suggest BP rockets for temps of like 40 to 50 degrees with something that could stand to be broken in a little bit. Oh, shoot, got money, got that notification. But from there, I think those are the perfect balls for BP, especially this time of year. So let's see. Check one last time on our bat stuff here for a little bit. Cool. I guess I could, just real quick here. Kind of, let's see. Show you guys what we're selling this morning, just to... Let's see, I posted some of this stuff on my personal page a while back, or my personal page, my BP Hero page a while back. Kind of gave you guys first dibs at that stuff, and everybody kind of did their thing, got what they wanted out of it, so I went ahead and posted these public. And here's what was left. 2 seconds here, boys. Boom. So here's what we're dealing with. That's all I got left from the little post that I made. Just trying to sell some stuff. Some of this is headbanger stuff. Got to send them the money for this stuff. There's no point in me shipping this stuff to them for them to turn around and send it right back to me. So I was like, what the heck? I'll sell this stuff for you. Send you the money. And then there's some more of this stuff in here that is my personal stuff and BP Hero stuff that we're going to sell and get a little more cash freed up for the channel, so we can buy some stuff and make some good content for you kids. Do the lights on the gaming headset make you a better gamer? Well, Mr. Bob Russell, let's see. I can get into it somewhere. I don't know a whole lot about this thing. I definitely outdid myself. I think somewhere. Unless it's just not showing up. I can even change it. I can change the color of this thing. We do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Is it changing colors? No, it's not, is it? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Now we're changing colors. Doing all kinds of cool stuff. But in fact, they do not make me a better gamer. I'm a terrible gamer, but I try my best. Sometimes I like to go live and mess around with that stuff too, and put that stuff on Twitch. And it's an opportunity for. I've got a handful of you guys that follow me here that also follow me on Twitch. Like, if you ever catch me on there, like, I'll answer any questions you got. It's an open forum. I'm usually dead most of the time, so I can talk to you guys and chat it up. Let's see. Ever thought about having Will from Slow Pitch Bat Bros as a guest on the podcast? Wouldn't mind hearing you guys nerd about everything you both swung from this year. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I'm kind of tiptoeing back into the podcast here, and I'm going to talk about that. I really need to get started because I'm on somewhat of a time crunch. I do want to have a few guests on, and I'm just kind of in a weird place with the podcast. Let's just dive into that. So we're going to go. You guys don't have to look at me anymore. You can put your phones down, walk away, listen, plug it into something, whatever you want to do. And we're going to rock and roll with that for a minute. So what direction is the podcast going? If you followed it for the last couple of years, you know it's been kind of hit or miss. And some of that comes from me personally. Maybe you could say it's a lack of motivation to want to post. But some of it also comes from the fact that I feel weird solo podcasting. Trying to think like the right words to say. Pardon my French if anybody's got this on at work, but there's no better way to say it than I just kind of sound like an opinionated asshole. I feel like sitting here giving my opinion, not really discussing it, not really weighing it out sometimes. Just to feel like I'm standing up here preaching and you have to listen to what I say and nothing else. I don't know. It's a weird vibe for me. I don't like to project myself as that person, and I feel like I do sometimes. when I solo podcast, like, because if I had Will or somebody on here with me, or I had somebody like Adam, Fat Guy BP, in here hanging out, we could, chat back and forth, discuss a topic, fire it back and forth with each other, as to where now it's me just, you know, it's basically I'm right, nothing else is wrong, that kind of thing. So it's just been kind of a weird spot to me. And actually, the last few podcasts that I had where I started to go live with the podcast, I do enjoy that. And I really like just kind of sitting and hanging out and chatting with you guys. Just reading the chat, keeping up with that stuff. But I don't know theoretically if that qualifies as per se a podcast. But I can almost just make a segment out of doing that. Just, go live. Maybe if I got a couple things to talk about, I could talk about them. And then otherwise, I just kind of spend the rest of the time here just kind of chatting with you guys and hanging out. Because, we've spent, 21 minutes now just talking about nothing but what's in the comments. I enjoy that. To me, it's not so much forced conversation as I feel like I have to sit here and talk about softball the entire time. Because, whatever comes up in these comments, I'll talk about it. It don't matter. It could be cars, it could be boobies. It could be a slow pitch bats. It could be baseball. It could be James Harden getting traded to the Nets. Which is wild, by the way. So, we could literally sit here and talk about anything. And I think that's kind of the direction I want to go. Like, if I've got some stuff that I really need to address or stuff that I really need to talk about, I think I'll go that route. And, maybe I could spend the first part of the podcast talking about that stuff. And then from there, I could just kind of hang out with the live chat for a little while and then call it good. I'm kind of looking for some feedback on that today. I don't know if you saw where I alluded to, I'm going to be kind of looking for feedback on a few different things, and that's one of them. Just kind of get you guys' thoughts on that, because so maybe it's something where if you're not keeping up with the comments, then it'd be hard for you to know what I'm talking about. But I figure if I'm kind of reading the comments as I go here and that kind of thing too, that would help. But sometimes it's just all about hanging out with you guys. That's another reason why, back to the Twitch thing, I'll put my Twitch down in the comments below. I stream, like once or twice a week. And it's literally nothing more than me and Gabe and Brian just acting like complete buffoons. Giggling and laughing, acting like idiots. I've got a couple pretty funny clips. But that's also just another opportunity for someone to come in, chat, hang out. I love the aspect of being able to interact with you guys. Not necessarily the best when it comes to keeping up with like comments on a post, but stuff like this where it is my main focus. I could do this all day long, every day. So I think what I'm going to start doing is maybe doing this weekly instead of having, like a podcast every month or a podcast every 2 weeks. Just do like a weekly podcast, cover a couple subjects that need to be covered, whether it's questions about the channel or something that's happened in the softball community, and then just spending the rest of the time kind of hanging out and chatting. Adam said boobies are a great start. Boobies are a great start to everything. We could also have, somebody like the owner of Evil Sports, my man Bob Russell, coming on the show. So that's always a possibility as well. Like I said, just it's different sometimes where I feel like I have to have a guest. I don't have to have a guest every time. But to me, it kind of makes the podcasting thing a little bit easier. Don't know. You guys can weigh in on that if you want. Other than boobies are a great start. Do got some new merchandise coming. We're going to be rolling out some more of the black and graphite hats like we've had before. I'm actually going to try and keep a little bit of that stuff in stock. I know it's really hard to... Let me backtrack. It's hard for me to collect money from all of you guys and then send it off to have shirts and stuff made. I understand that you guys don't mind doing that. That's why you do it. But to me, I don't like having that hung over my head. Not that anybody's badgering me or anything else, but it's just a weird feel for me to collect money and then send it off and everybody waits 4 to 6 weeks. We're somewhat in the dark until shirts start showing up and then I ship them out. I would rather just try and keep that stuff on hand, and that's half the reason that we're selling the stuff that we're selling with as far as the bats and stuff go that you saw in the post is to try and generate a little bit of money to be able to keep, a handful of shirts in stock, a handful of hats in stock. I'm going to be rolling out a second style of hat, and then I'm going to be making a t-shirt. So everything's been dry fit so far, and I want to make like a 50-50 blend or maybe even a cotton t-shirt. And sometimes I just get sick of wearing dry fit stuff everywhere. So I'm going to come out with a cotton t-shirt, working with the company, trying to get the ball rolling on that right now, and it'll have a hat to match it as well. Going to have beanies coming. So I'm hoping to get all that stuff rolling soon. I'll be able to keep it in stock so you guys can pay for it, send it out. It'd be a good way to invest back in the channel a little bit and get you guys some swag as well. Because anytime anybody's out wearing swag at the ballpark, it's just another opportunity for your boy here to be able to spread the brand. Did Evil stop making the BP rocket? No, they haven't quit making the BP rocket. Things are just hard to keep in stock right now. Coronavirus has got everything from shipping to manufacturing just kind of in an odd, I wouldn't say standstill, but it's just everything's in high demand. Everybody's out hitting batting practice because nobody's playing, so everybody's buying up BP balls. There's a lot of variables that go into it. The BP rockets are not discontinued, but they are hard to come by. They're doing the best they can to keep them in stock. There should be more coming soon. I can't give a date on that. Maybe if Bob Russell is in the comments, he can weigh in on that and maybe give us an ETA on when they're coming again. And I'd say they're probably not even on the site. I had to guess. Like I said, maybe he can weigh in, but I would assume that they're probably not even on the site, just to kind of avoid people trying to check them out and that kind of thing. But I can tell you, I talked to him on the phone the other day, obviously, and he's still sending game balls and stuff to me, so we're in communication. And he was telling me that they will be coming. It's just kind of at a standstill right now, just supply and demand kind of thing. And then we do have some new stuff coming for 2020 that we're going to do to kind of make the channel a little bit better. I follow a lot of other people on YouTube from a lot of different niches, whether it be car stuff or some gaming stuff, that kind of thing. And everybody has P.O. boxes. They do like fan mail. I thought maybe like once a month would be cool to do like a fan mail Friday. Starting probably in this video and with the rest of them, I'll be putting my P.O. box down in the description so you guys can, send fan mail, that kind of thing. Do understand if you're sending bats, you need to talk to me first, because kind of rolling from one subject into another, I like doing the fan mail stuff, especially when it comes to doing the podcast. We used to do the drink the podcast all the time for all the podcast OGs. I figured that'd be a good way to do that and just not give my private address to the world. Not that I don't trust anybody out there, but the world is an insane place right now. But speaking of subscriber bats, I'm kind of leaning towards maybe getting away from taking so many subscriber bats. So I'm trying to choose my words wisely here. I haven't had a ton of issues with subscriber bats, people sending bats and bats breaking or things going wrong with bats. But the more that time goes on, the more it makes me nervous that, like, man, something's going to happen. It's going to blow up and it's going to get ugly. Because I can't tell you, I think it's happened 2 or 3 times where I've had a subscriber send a bat and either the bat is cracked or develop a really bad rattle or that kind of thing. And thankfully, everybody that sent stuff has been very very understanding. And I've been thankful for that. Stuff happens and that kind of thing. And I try and do my best to, compensate if they need anything like that. Since they did send me a bat on good faith, and I'm sending it back, other than having swings on it, not in the condition that they sent it to me in. Kind of what I'm thinking about doing, and I do have set up for anyone that would want to kind of help towards that cause. Again, with the content creation thing, the more that we can get going, I've got a really good idea for some ASA bats. I'm not going to elaborate too much, but stuff like that would. Oh goodness, but stuff like that would be a good way to be able to buy stuff, and if whatever happens to it, happens to it. I did set up a Patreon page. For those that aren't familiar, it's basically just a safe and secure way for, say you don't have a bat to send in and you want to do what you can to try and help with content creation. It's a safe and secure way for you to be able to send me gifts, money, that kind of thing, and we can take it and turn around and put it right back into the channel. Every dime of it will go right back in, and maybe instead of taking subscriber bats, people are spending 15, 20. I see the labels on the bats. People are spending $15 or $20 to get a bat here, or maybe it's an aspect where it's something that I've already reviewed, something I don't have time to review. If people are willing to, what's up? Yeah, you're good. Here, just for your sense of security. These women, I'm telling you. But it'd be a good opportunity to, say you want to help the cause or anything like that, you can just shoot a few bucks over and we'll make sure it goes right back into the channel. I got lots of stuff in mind, but a couple of them are going to be pricey experiments. BP Hero hoodies, that is something that I do want to do. I've got one on right now. Emily, don't come out. I've got one on right now. If you can see it here. It's just I don't know. I'm kind of a cotton nerd when it comes to hoodies. I don't like dry fit stuff. I don't like, 50-50 blends when it comes to hoodies. I really like a good cotton hoodie. I know they're heavy, and I know that they get nasty when you sweat in them, but that's just kind of my thing. It's what I like. But sometimes I also have to remember that it's not what I like. It's what other people have to like too. But back on topic, because that's another thing. You talk about hoodies and stuff. The Patreon would also be an opportunity to be able to keep product in stock. So I can get you guys stuff that you need, hats, hoodies, that kind of thing. So we can do that. So I'll also see about putting the link to that in the description down below. I'm going to kind of work some of that around after I do this video. I didn't want to do it beforehand and then have everybody asking questions. And probably we're going to go on a bit of a tangent here, and then we're just going to flip back to the comments. You guys are chatting it up in the comments here. And like I said, this is what I'm talking about with the podcast. I'm sitting here talking about topics that I've got pre-made, and I catch myself reading over here the comments, getting distracted. I'm finding out the direction I want this to go. I just need to make sure you guys are on board with me. But one last topic here, real quick. I hate selling bats on Facebook. Drives me up the wall. I don't understand how some people can be so oblivious to things. Give me just a second, guys. Right, I'm back. So anyway, nothing personal against anybody, because I don't think, hell, I don't know, that anybody has ever reached out to me and kind of did this stuff. But what gets me is I post a bat for sale. It's got how many swings. It's got the price. I try and be as detailed as I can. If somebody wants pictures, I'll send them any kind of pictures that they want. And then people send you messages. How much is it? Do you have pictures? How many swings are on it? Well, you found my post to be able to send me a message. Did you just see a bat in the picture and send a message? It's so frustrating. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of their time, whether they realize it or not. It just drives me nuts. Either that or you got people, for example, today with this bat stuff. I had a couple of bats that I had posted that generated a lot of interest really fast. And, somebody saying, hey, can I have this bat? Well, I tell you what, you're second in line. Somebody just sent me a message on it, and turns out they're out. So, whether it be, they thought I might be able to wiggle on price or anything else. That's another one, is I say no trades and I say firm on price, and then people still try and beat you up on price. Firm on price means firm on price. I don't understand that. But, whether it be, you got people, you could say, hey, look, you're second in line, you're third in line. I've got guys that are interested in this, and I'll follow up with you if something doesn't work out. 4 different people I've said, hey, yo, bat's yours if you want it. And active on Messenger, and don't open the message for over an hour. So I'm moving on to the next person. I don't have time to sit around and wait all day long for someone to tell me they want a bat. I tell them they can have it, and then they decide if they want it or not. That's not how this works. Drives me up the wall. It's an absolute waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. Be better at being bat shoppers, be better at being bat sellers. Like, I get that Facebook is kind of an aggressive marketplace, but post a price. It makes everybody's life easier. And I understand that your way of, saying PM is key. No, PM is not key. PM is what you want for people to bid on your bat that you have posted. And if anybody knows me personally, I'm kind of taking a jab at my man Brian, because he did it earlier this week. It's the best way to get as much money as you can out of something. I totally get that. But if you want to have an auction, go to eBay. It just drives me up the wall. You see, nobody posting prices or, looking to trade. Well, looking to trade for, that's another one. You see people post a bat or, a menagerie of bats. I'm finding more stuff to rant on here as I go. So you see people post a bat and it says, looking to trade this bat. Okay, what are you looking to trade it for? And then you got 60 comments of people offering up stuff. No thanks, no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you just posted and said, I'm looking for this in trade for this bat I have in this picture. It's got this many swings on it. It doesn't have a receipt, but it does have a barcode. Like, how hard is that? 229, you say, I'll give you 125. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you would. So, I don't know. That stuff just drives me up the wall. It's just so many. I don't know if oblivious would be the word, or if they're just not good at multitasking. Maybe they got stuff going on. They're not paying attention to what they're doing. I don't have a clue. Because if I say I'm buying something, or if I'm interested in buying something, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to send you money because I'm ready to send you money. I'm going to say, hey, do you have this bat? You're going to say yes. And I'm going to say, okay, can I have a couple extra pictures? You're going to send me the extra pictures, and then I'm going to decide if I want to buy that bat or not. It's not going to be, okay, I got to go talk to so-and-so, and then I'll hit you up. Well, why didn't you talk to so-and-so before you reached out about the bat? Because now you think I'm going to hold this bat for you when I've got 5 other people trying to buy this thing for you to make a decision. That's not how this works. When you're ready to buy something, you buy it or you don't. Jordan Dean, yeah. Or when people post their whole collection just to say this bat in the very back is for sale. That's actually what I was getting to say next. Yeah, you got a guy that posts a picture of 40 bats. No others are for sale. Looking to sell this one. And then it's the whole comment section. How much for this? How much for that? And then dude starts blurting out prices for the stuff that people are asking. Okay, so it was for sale. Why didn't you just say that? If you didn't want it for sale, then don't do that. Like, it escapes me the general logic that goes into posting softball bats sometimes. Maybe that's something I need to make a video on. Oh, here, real quick. Let's see. Jason Lawrence was asking about the Evils. Bobby did reply. Said Evil still makes the BP balls. Stuff got weird with COVID and getting stuff from overseas. Plus, the only thing we sold for the last 3 months was BP balls. So we sold the inventory earlier than expected. What's up, Mr. Marty? Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, selling bats on the internet, it definitely is the wild, wild west. Ain't no doubt about it. And, no, you okay. So, yeah, ain't no doubt about it. But it just... Yeah, CJ, I am saying a bunch of softball players aren't the brightest bunch. That is indeed what I'm saying, and myself included in that. Don't get me wrong, but the Facebook Marketplace just wears me out sometimes. If I was taking offers for something, I'd put it on eBay. Because I mean, really, what you're doing when you're saying you're taking offers is you're wanting to see what someone's going to pay you for this, and you're going to decide if you want the price or not. Take it to eBay and let someone bid on it. See, because I think, Jordan says do it because he could definitely watch it and step up his game on the BST pages. And the other thing with that, too, is shipping. I haven't had a lot of issues in the last few years, knock on wood. The little bit of buying that I do, I hate selling. I have Brian sell my stuff for me, and I do just a smidge of buying. And a lot of times, if it's not someone that I've got mutual friends with or anything like that, then I'm probably not even going to mess with it. So let's see. Gabe just called. Let's see what this clown wants. So yeah, that's I don't know. It just drives me up the wall, where you get guys that. How many times can you reuse a bat box? Do you reuse it once? Do you reuse it twice? To me, there's no set number. It depends on the condition of the box, and a whole roll of freaking tape is like $4. Use it. A whole roll of tape. You're not going to use a whole roll of tape on a bat. If you use a roll of tape between 5 bat boxes, you're under $1. You're under $1 worth of tape to make sure that bat makes it there without falling out of the box. Because I have had multiple occasions where I've even had it coming from retailers, so it's not just personal sellers. I've even had them coming from retailers where the bat shows up and the box is like seriously hanging open, and it's like somebody just put the bat back in because it fell. I even had, I'd see, when was it? I think it was 2 years ago. I shipped a bat to someone, insured and everything else. That's the other thing, is insurance. Your insurance is going to cost you $2-3. That $2-3 is worth making sure that your stuff doesn't get lost in the mail, because if not, you're on the line. What's $2-3 worth of insurance on $250? To me, it seems well worth the investment. But I had a bat. I sent it to the dude, and he sends me a message, and he's like, "Hey, I'd never seen this before." And I was like, I'm immediately thinking, oh, God, here we go. Well, the bat got sent to him, and the box was open, and the bat was in there, and there was a note inside of the box that said, "This fell out. I put it back in. I don't know if it's or whatever it said. I don't know verbatim what it said. But basically, it was a note saying, "Hey, this bat fell out of the box, and I put it back in here. I hope everything's okay with it, blah, blah, blah." But at least they did that, because most of the time USPS is bat shopping half the time anyway. You see the big packages come through, holes torn in the side of them and everything else, people trying to see what's in them. But use a good amount of tape. So that's where I got myself in trouble, is I let UPS, they said, "Oh, we'll tape it up for you. Don't worry about it." I was like, "All right, bet." So gave them my stuff. They put it in the box, and I shamefully walked out the door without watching them tape it up. I guess it had one piece of tape on each end. That ain't going to do nothing. I'm talking 4 or 5 pieces of tape on the ends. Wrap the tape around those ends of tape. Dude, there's $200 bat in there. Use $1 worth of tape to make sure it don't come falling out. I'm done ranting on Facebook Marketplace stuff. I've actually got to get wrapped up here pretty soon. So we're going to hang out in the chat for just a few minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, let's see. I'm trying to get caught back up here, just so I can kind of pick up where we left off with the comments, because you guys are busy over here popping off. Oh yeah, selling bats is the internet Wild West. Let's see, getting caught up. yeah, Adam. We are guys that don't read directions sometimes, myself included. Take something out of the box. You just look at it and put it together a bunch of different times until it looks like it goes together. Check the box for the picture and go on. ASA bat recommendation for just hitting 52-300s. Man, I mean, really, whatever ASA bat you would use anyway. I don't think balls require specific bats. People can argue that all day long, but I personally don't feel that way, especially when it comes to an ASA bat hitting an ASA ball. We're talking like top tier stuff from the last few years. I mean, you could get weird, try and find yourself like a 2013 Derby Boys. But all jokes aside, something like a DeMarini flipper or anything like that would be good. Did we just go dark? Okay. Something like a DeMarini flipper would be good. The Anarchy stuff is pretty nice. I do even like, you talk about, the DeMarini flipper and the Anarchy stuff that's got like inner barrel technology, but I do still dig like the Mercy line and the Juggy line from DeMarini as well. And you can't forget the Worth and Mikan stuff. Their ASA tech is on point. It's another one of the, you could consider somewhat LC bats. You can hit harder stuff with those and kind of get away with it, but I wouldn't recommend it. But you're looking to hit a 52-300 anyway. So some of my top recommendations would be like an ASA Creature, a Demerini Mercy, stuff like that, as far as like getting specific into bats. But it'd be easier to name off a list of bats that I wouldn't recommend than the bats I would. Bats are in a really good place right now, whether it comes to ASA or U-Trip, as far as there being so many good bats out there. As you'll see coming up in the best of video that I'm doing, it's going to be, I won't say different, but it was a hard list to make because every bat manufacturer has finally figured out the formula to making a good bat on both ends, on ASA and U-Trip. But the stamp change in U-Trip is going to kind of change things up a little bit, so I'm excited to see what's up with that. I'm probably more excited for that than a lot of people, just in terms of bat reviews and stuff, because it's a chance for companies to kind of say, hey, you know, we're the first one to make a bat to this standard and make the best one. Just kind of like a fresh start, per se, for some companies. And other companies have already got it kind of figured out, I think. I know that a lot of the Worth and Mikan stuff that I tried this year, as far as on the U-Trip side, just from dealing with it with the compression tester stuff that I had, a lot of that stuff would take BP and still pass 240 compression. So, you know, whether that was just kind of we were their guinea pigs this year and they're going to roll out something different, I don't know. Because like I said, I don't talk to bat companies a whole lot, but it's a good sign of things to come because I really enjoyed the Worth and Mikan stuff this year as well. And, you know, it can take a couple rounds of BP and still be above 240. So I think they've got their stuff figured out. Demerini does have some that fail fast, but you use a little bit of common sense with those and you should be fine. Easton, it's stupid hot and it's stupid hot fast. I'm not saying that they're all going to be like that, but it'll be interesting to see what the 240s do for companies like that have been known to make bats that are testing like 200 within 200 swings. Now, yeah, Bob is right. It totally comes down to swing weight. As far as, you know, what do you like, in-load balance, short barrel, big barrel, that kind of thing. Those are things you should look for. Not, you know, if you swing balance bats, you swung nothing but balance bats your entire life, don't run out and buy an in-load because someone on Facebook told you to. Oh, one more thing. Yes. So, Solo brought this up here in the comments, talking about bat stuff. I need you to listen to this. And this probably did just give me that push I needed to quit. CJ, quit. My corn dog's starting to open up. This probably did give me the motivation that I needed to make this video and kind of put together some facts and questions and things like that. To my knowledge, and I have researched it, and I researched it again this morning, Venmo. So, PayPal has, man, see, I'm getting the ball rolling here again. So, real quick, PayPal, let's talk about sending as goods and services or sending as friends and family. Are you my friend? Are you my family? No? Okay, send as goods. I don't mind losing the $2 or $3. If you're selling bats and you're worried about losing $2 or $3 on a bat over some fees, you probably shouldn't be wheeling and dealing bats. Ask for the extra money, include it in your price, do whatever you got to. It's like 3% if you need to know the exact number so you can know how much to charge for a bat. But that money is going to protect you in case something happens when it gets there or they try and scam you or anything like that. That extra money is going to be protection for you, and that money is going to be protection for your buyer as well. Say you get paid and you take that money and run, and they send as friends and family. There's nothing saying that you have to give that money back. They can take your money that you sent friends and family, delete you off of Facebook and block you. And, you know, I have heard of instances where PayPal may, with enough proof, get involved. But a lot of times, more than not, I can tell you for a fact that PayPal is just going to basically tell you shove it. You know, the goods and services are there for a reason. Use it. And that kind of gets me onto the Venmo thing. To my knowledge and the research that I've done, and I checked again this morning, there is no buyer or seller protection on Venmo. Venmo is a very trending thing right now, and there's no protection anywhere. Your telephone. I'm podcasting, and your telephone is ringing. She thinks I'm serious.
Stop, you're embarrassed.
But Venmo has no protection for a buyer or seller. So that's again another instance where Venmo is a very popular thing right now. I personally hate it. I use it because all my friends have it. But it's very much a thing right now that everybody wants to use it. I've sold 3 bats this morning. Everybody's wanting to send Venmo. And it's another case of, they decide to send me money. I could just as easily block them from Facebook. And besides the Facebook police, tracking me down, or whoever else that likes to get their noses involved in bat drama on Facebook wants to get involved and track me down, that would be the only way this person could potentially get their money back, because Venmo's going to say, stuff it, So, moral of the story with buying and selling: use insurance, use tape, use PayPal or something with any kind of buyer and seller protection, and use it. Use it, use it, use it. Yeah, see, Solo said he would have been scammed out of $400 if he hadn't paid for goods and services for an anarchy rebellion. The dude got 2 other guys that didn't. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I could go to Google right now and Google a picture of whatever bat that I wanted to sell, throw it up on Facebook Marketplace, and sell it to 5 different people, block every one of them. If they all sent Venmo or friends and family, thanks for the money. Have a good life. It's that easy. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be that guy. CJ said he swings his corn dog and BP mostly. The key is not to break your bats. That swinging on the Easton and BP. Yeah, I'm rocking the L5 and BP. That's a... Man, what an adventure. I got that from... Gosh, who did I get that from? I'm drawing blank now. It's a friend of mine from St. Louis. God bless it. I can't think of who that was. He's probably watching this. Sorry, man. Eric Thiel. I got it from Thiel. I got it from him for like $30. And I've had that thing for BP for the last 2 years. Hit everything in the kitchen sink with it in the cold. And of course, it just keeps coming back for more because it's an L5. It's probably got 2,000 swings on it until it tests above 300. But that's what those things are for. They're perfect. Perfect for stuff like that. And maybe if you're brave enough to eventually game something like that, then go for it. And that's also another video that I want to do soon. I've got a big plan for a lot of stuff in the off season here, just to kind of have some filler here, because usually by now we've got all kinds of 2021 bats, or the next model year bats coming in, but we don't right now just because of the stamp change. So I'm going to try and fill that gap in there with some content and stuff, and some of that's going to be like bats that are good for BP, that are cheap, still enjoyable to swing, and you can kind of save your gamers and things like that. But I got to get going, guys. I'll go out and hit some BP with the boys. They're all getting ready to go to Texas. So I'm going to go out there, make sure they get some swings in. I need some swings in for myself, so I don't suck any worse than I already do. I hope you enjoyed this. I like chatting with you guys. I like hanging out, commenting in the chat. I like how this went. If you want to see something different or do something different, then, say so, or, I can't do anything for you. I haven't gotten any negative feedback as far as, what people like and don't like about the podcast. But, I don't see a lot of positive feedback, so I don't know what you like and don't like, if you know what I mean. But that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping in and checking it out. 32 viewers, all of you in here hanging out. I love it. Absolutely love it. So I'll catch you guys next time. Probably Wednesday or Thursday again next week at the same time. If you guys want a different time, you be sure and say so. If not, we're going to catch you at 9 a.m. Probably, what do you think? You want to do Thursday or Wednesday? I'm going to let you guys decide right now. What do you think? Wednesday or Thursday next week? What are we thinking, guys? Be 9 a.m. again. It's a perfect time. Noon. Oh, my God. I work nights. I can't do noon. Noon is like midnight to me. But you did say, I did say I'm on open books. Maybe I'll come home and take a nap and then get up or something. We'll have to figure that out. Anybody else got anything besides noon? Sorry, Virgil. So that's why it works out good. I guess I didn't elaborate that. What's up, George? Wow. All right. Long story here. I just said George. So I butchered that. I'm gonna tell you the story real quick, and then I gotta go. I always do this. Jorge, my man Jorge right here, Jorge Sanchez. So, long story short, we told this buddy of mine one time that we had this new friend. He kind of came into our circle of friends. His name was George, and it was spelled Jorge. And my boy believed it for like 2 years. He told everybody. He would introduce him to somebody. Hey man, this dude's name is George, but it's spelled like Jorge. For like 2 years until they finally caught on. So it's just still instinct for me to see that and say George. But my bad, dog. I needed to at least tell that story to let you know I wasn't just out here butchering names. But looks like you guys are saying Thursday, so we'll get it rolling on Thursday. Hopefully sometime before noon. Dude said 7:30. I get off at 7:30. So we'll follow up and establish a time. And it sounded like Thursday. So thanks for stopping in, guys. I love doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to catch you in the next one.